Thank you, sir. So you have a choice here, right? First of all, would each one of you just stand up, tell me your first and last name and what you hope to get out of this. Tell me your first, last name, what school you're from, and what you hope to get out of this if you do it. Go ahead, you start.
My name is Tressler. I'm not from school. I just went through.
Okay. Where are you from, Tierra?
Here.
Okay, Louisville, good.
Yep. And then I hope to get a career. That's what I want.
In this field?
Yes.
Fantastic. And you're off to the right start just by being in this room.
My name is Jacob Young, Floyd Central in Southern Indiana. My hope is to get a Master Tech someday.
Master Tech.
Yes, sir.
God, you guys are so much smarter than I was. Go ahead.
My name is Michael Ham. I'm from Providence, right across the river in Clarksville.
Pull your mask down just so I can hear you a little bit.
I'm Michael Ham. I'm from Providence, over across the river in
Okay,
Clarksville.
great.
And same as him, Master Tech.
Fantastic.
I'm Cameron Holiday. I'm from Charlestown, Indiana, and yeah, like them, I'm gonna be a master's thing.
I'm Ian McDermott. I'm from a small school across from Trinity. It's called Academy of Louisville. And then I've been looking for a job, and I wanted to start my career as an automotive technician. So
Fantastic.
My name is Corey Crabtree. I'm from Louisville, and I'm just looking to get a nice career out of this.
All right, will you be a tech as well?
yes.
Carter Wetzel from North Harrison High School. It's around Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping to get a good career in the auto collision industry.
And it's near Corbin?
Corbin.
Corden, okay, okay. Anybody else? Yes. Okay. All right, well, welcome, okay? Let me tell you real quickly, when I was 18, in 1991, the Gulf War started. I joined the Marines. I was active duty, and you were told earlier by Nick Wyman, the dentist from the movie Nemo, you were told by Nick that the apprenticeship program, right, the biggest and the most successful apprenticeship is the military. Very true. It's very true. What I want you to think about is this. You have a choice. Clap once if you hear me. Let's try it again. You have a choice. Clap once if you hear me. And here's your choice. You can decide you want to be successful and have a fantastic career, have money in your pocket always, and provide for your family. Or you can wake up every day, not have any goals, and just decide, whatever the world gives me, I'll just take. Because you have friends like that, don't you? They have no idea what they're going to do. They're going to go to college, some of them won't, but they don't really know what they're going to do. Oh, I'll figure it out. Well, no, you won't. You'll wake up every day and you'll just take whatever the world decides to give you. So the fact that you all already know that you want to become master techs and work in cars, that is fantastic. I applaud you. I do. That is fantastic. And we're going to talk about what are you going to do? A journeyman certification, which is the apprenticeship program, or a college degree. Okay, now Nick told you you get paid to learn. Now think about the logic here. The friends you have that are going to college, they are going to pay thousands of dollars. Better yet, they're going to owe and borrow thousands of dollars, give them to an instructor to get taught. At the end of that 4 or 5 or 6 years, however long it takes them to get through college, they're going to owe $60,000, $70,000 that they have to pay back. And they haven't even gotten an apartment yet. But they owe $70,000. You, over that same 4, 5, 6 year period, are going to make thousands of dollars. So in 4 or 5 years, I want you to go back to your neighborhood and see your friends with their college degrees. Because they will have so much debt and you won't. Let's start with that. Number 2, Nick wrote a book, the Nemo guy. He wrote a book called Job U a few years ago. I love the book. Next time you see Nick, ask him for a copy of his book, Job U. Fantastic book, okay? One of the things I got from that book was how much money you can make just by being in a career as a journeyman, right? If you start in an apprenticeship, you become a journeyman or journey worker, you get that certification, you make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you think people with college degrees will make more money? They won't. The studies prove it. There's a study called Pathway to Prosperity from Harvard University in 2011. And here's what it found, okay? For every 10 high school seniors that graduate high school, 6 will go to college. 4 will not. 1 will join the military. 3 will just hang out in Corden or New Albany or wherever they're from. Okay, you've seen them, right? You've seen them. They're walking around, right? The 6 that go to college, 4 years later, guess how many are left? 2. Good answer. 2 are left. That means of the 6 that went to college, only 2 are going to graduate. Which means we have 4 still back home. 1 may be gone in the military. But we have 4 at home that never went to college, so they don't have any education. And then we have 4 that dropped out of college, so they have a little education, but no degree and no skills. So now we have 8 people in that community that don't have any skills and don't have any college degree. But what do they all need?
Money.
They all need money. You guys won't have that problem. So that study found that for every 6 that go to college, 2 will graduate. The green line is apprenticeship, what you're considering doing. Okay? Everything in this world, as a side note, everything in this world is sales. While you're here today, you know what you're doing? You're selling Mercedes-Benz, and Mr. Peterson that stood up here, you're selling him on the idea that you are the best fit, Tara, for his company. You will make a great mechanic here. You deserve the opportunity to be in this program. And let me tell you something. You do. You showed up on a Saturday. You gave up your time to sit right here, listen to a bunch of adults, talk a bunch of adult things to you. How much are you getting paid for this? 0. You know what I'm getting paid? 0. You know why I'm here? Because it matters to me. This matters. You have an incredible opportunity that they are handing to you, and all you have to do is 3 things. You are always in charge of those 3 things. Key word is ACE. Your attitude, your choices, your effort. Every day, you have to be in charge of those 3 things. You have to be in charge of your attitude. You've got to have a good attitude. Bad stuff is going to happen. It's going to. Bad stuff will happen. It's happened to me. It'll happen to you. It happens to everybody. But are you going to be a victim? Or are you going to say, I'm going to get over it. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to have a good attitude. Because I got to tell you, remember those posters in high school? It says attitude determines your altitude. Raise your hand. Who's seen that? Truer words have never been said. And here's why. If you've got somebody that you work with and they go, oh, I hate this. This place sucks. Do you want to work with that guy? If somebody, do you like the person in school that's kind of like, it's all right, we'll get over it. Let's just do our work. Right? You like that person that's a little more chill, right? They got a better attitude. They approach things differently. Your attitude is absolutely important. It determines your altitude. And I used to think that poster was so just goofy when I saw it in school. I get it now as an adult. You've got to have a great attitude. You've got to be in control of your choices. You've got a choice. I can stay home Saturday, play Xbox, drink my Monster drink, order pizza, or I could go to this Mercedes-Benz apprenticeship thing that they keep telling me about. You made the right choice. I'm proud of you. I mean that. Look at it. I'm proud of you. You made the right choice today. Great job. Because you know how many people got invited? About 50. 50 got invited. So 50 people had the opportunity to come here and take a step forward into making hundreds of thousands of dollars over the next 10 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you showed up. I would love to know where the 43 are today, what they're doing, and I'd really like to see them in 10 years. And your effort. You can control your effort. You can control it. You determine how hard you're going to work, or if you're going to work at all. How many of you think you always put forth a good effort? Raise your hand. No matter what, you may not get it, but you'll try. Raise your hand high. You know what that is? That is a quality a lot of people don't have. Have you ever screwed up?
Oh, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you? You know what that's called?
Get through it.
Normal.
Yeah.
Normal. If you have screwed up, you are what is called normal. That's okay. You're supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to. I'd be more worried if you didn't. And even more worried if you didn't admit you made mistakes. Because then I can't teach you if you know everything, right? From the day you were born, you started learning. You're ready to be parents right now. You believe me, Jacob? I see you laughing under there. You believe me? All right, watch this, Jacob. I want you to finish my sentences. These are parent sentences, but I bet you'll finish them. You ready? Okay. Before you come to dinner, wash your...
And
Before you go to bed, I want you to brush your...
feet,
Okay. Make sure you do all your...
chores.
Why are you laughing? You do all the parent things. You know how to do it, buddy. You're a parent. You know how to do it.
I hope not.
Do we need to worry?
No.
Okay. So you're in control of your effort. You're learning from day one. You know more than you actually think you do right now. And I know you know more than you think you do. You know why? Because you're here. I wouldn't have done this at 18. I wouldn't have been smart enough to make that choice. You guys are impressive. And don't forget, you're selling yourself today. So when we have our little interaction, put your best foot forward. Choose to have a good attitude. Make good choices. And impress them with your whole appearance, your effort, why you're here. Because it matters. Because some of you are not going to be mechanics your whole life. You're going to become a master tech. You may end up teaching at Mercedes people to be master techs. You may be in charge back there and be the supervisor. You may be working with Mr. Keaty and traveling around and making sure all the departments are doing their job. Okay? This is not the last stop for you. This is the first step. So education has been asking the wrong question your whole life. You get tests, right? All right, make sure you read the history, chapter 4, Tiara. We're going to have a test. Make sure you show up, bring a pencil, and then you read chapter 4, you show up, they hand you out the test. You fill in the Scantron, they tell you if you're smart. How smart are you? That's the wrong question to ask. It's not how smart you are, it's how are you smart. Think about that. It doesn't matter if you got a 60 on the test. That's memory. What matters is how are you smart? How many of you have always been able to work with your hands pretty good? That's how you're smart. If you put me underneath a car, Jacob, right? Or if you lift the hood of a car, Tiara, and you point to anything under that hood, you know what that's called to me? A thingy. A thingy. That's what it's called. If you all know how to change your oil, you're light years ahead of me. I went in and looked for blinker fluid at AutoZone yesterday. No. But it's not about how smart you are, it's how are you smart. And then this quote I love, it says, opportunity looks a lot like hard work and a great attitude. And I'll bet Mr. Peterson that was in here would agree. Opportunity looks like hard work and a great attitude. There was a guy who was considered very smart CEO back in the day. His name was Lee Iacocca. He worked for Ford. Lee Iacocca got fired from Ford Motors by Mr. Ford when he was the CEO. When he got fired, he went home, and he's still considered a genius for what he did. Chrysler called him up and said, hey, we want you to come work at Chrysler and be our CEO. So he gets over to Chrysler. They give him the tour. They show him the numbers and what's going on. And Chrysler and Ford are rivals. Remember, he just got fired from Ford. He gets home. He tells his wife. She said, oh, how'd it go? He goes, I don't think anything can turn Chrysler around. She goes, boy, I bet Mr. Ford would be glad to hear that. And he was like, oh. And that's all it took. He said, I'm going to turn Chrysler around now. I'm going to prove that I was right and I can do the job. And I'm capable, right? You gotta have that desire. You gotta have that fight. You gotta want it. And that's what they're looking for here. People that want it, okay? I bet when Mr. Peterson shows up, he's dressed to the nines for his board meetings, but I'll bet when nobody's looking, he'll grab the broom and start sweeping out there. He didn't get to where he is by not having a great work ethic, making good choices, a good attitude. Mike Stith, the same way, the guy who's been with you guys this morning. They don't put him in charge of these things because they think, he might as well do it. No, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why, out of thousands of students, they sent this invite to 50. They got a list of thousands of kids. They sent it to 50. Why not 57? And you all showed up. Congratulations. You're that much closer to having an incredible opportunity to make your life bigger and better than you ever could have possibly imagined. And that's exciting. Earlier I said, don't let the inner me become the enemy. Whenever you look in the mirror, even as adults, sometimes we see a fraud. When people say, oh man, you're the man, you look in the mirror and you go, no, I'm not the man, right? You think, I got this and I'm not that good looking, right? Everybody, when they look in the mirror, they don't see that really strong, capable, perfect person, right? They don't. But you are. You can do anything you want to do if you decide, and there's power in making a decision. Okay? There is power in making a decision. In its original Latin root word form, decide meant to cut off from anything else. So once you decide, you've made a powerful decision because nothing else is a consideration. You're either going to do it or you don't. Okay? I'm glad you guys are here. I know they're excited that you're here. So put your best foot forward. I hope some of you get selected for the program. And if you don't, come back and get selected again or do whatever you got to do. You may all get picked. I don't know. But I just want you to know you've got a great opportunity. And about 10 years from now, when you're driving your own Mercedes and you see me broken down on 64, remember, I said everything under the hood's a thingy, I need you to stop. All right? Like, oh, that's the fat guy that talked to me. All right, stop. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Clap once you hear me. Clap once you hear me. All right, I'm going to remember that. Mike, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Proud of you guys.